Well, welcome back. I can tell you we've got such an amazing setup here as the SABC as we come to you live from Nasrec Expo. We've got cameras all over the place that are capturing this event live and as it happens. We've also got these fancy, beautiful jibs, this massive one that I'm busy talking into right now that gives you the aerial shot that you see on your screens, and we get to give you this high-up view of the grounds and people walking around and just the activity. Well, I can tell you now that things are getting a little bit busier. I still don't see any of the delegates around, but I'm sure they should be coming soon because there is that voting for the NEC that should be taking place today, and that is a very long and in-depth process as well, and then the counting has to start. So there's a big forum that's taking place now. That's the PBF Business Breakfast with Minister Abraham Patel, the Economic Development Minister. He'll be addressing that, and then something that I'm looking forward to hearing is at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to talk to my guest about this, Sikonathi Mantshantsha, who's the Deputy Editor of Financial Mail. Good to have you on the program. Welcome.
Good morning, Lee, and thanks for having me here.
So as I was saying, that at 10 o'clock, the Women's League are expected to host a press conference to talk about their reaction to the announcement last night. And I'm sure they're going to have a lot to say because women not featuring too much, are they?
The women are not featuring too much because of the ANC Women's League stance. One, it didn't want a woman president. It just wanted Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, and it shut the door on any other woman who disagreed with their agenda, which indeed seems to be driven from the Saxon world shaping. That's the main thing. They have to account to their constituency for the failure to deliver on the promises. How can they have only Jessie Duarte there? And Jessie Duarte really does not owe her presence to them on that top six. She's been there for the past 10 years. They have delivered absolutely nothing, and it would be interesting to see if they will account for it.
I mean, it is. It's very disappointing. And I know that we saw meetings being held, and I think this was late last night. We saw Lindi Zulu as well as Batibile Dlamini sitting in a room looking very forlorn, I have to say.
They went for the worst possible candidates. So they didn't want to win this. There are many women that are professionals, good people, excellent. And then, of course, you have Batabile Dlamini leading the campaign, and Nkwana Maite Shaban is the top candidate after Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. There are far much better people in this country, and certainly the people that were voting there it didn't escape them that their delegates, their families are on the brink of losing their social pensions, not because the government cannot pay, but Batabile Dlamini won't give it to them.
Yeah. Let's get your overall reaction now. I mean, when you heard the announcement last night, obviously you had your predictions in your mind like all of us did. What did you make of it? I mean, was that what you were expecting?
It was very tight. I had been telling the people that I work with, that I talk to, that the majority, the winning margins would be about 200 votes, between 200 to 400 votes. But damn, it was
even less than that.
Even less than that. Senzo Mkhunu lost by 24 votes, and Cyril won by 169 votes. So it was quite very tight. And now you've got if the NEC here does not come out clearly with the progressive side winning, then you have a stalemate in the top six. You have a stalemate in the NEC. If it is as balanced as that top six is, that may cripple the government going forward.
Let's talk about a Cyril Ramaphosa presidency. He's made a lot of promises going into this, and one of his biggest promises was getting rid of corruption. That this is going to be an ANC devoid of corruption. We're going to change the image of this ANC that has been really badly affected by some negative events that have taken place. But how is he going to do this with the top six that have got two of the so-called Premier League in it?
That question will be answered by the voting, the results of the 80 delegates that will be coming in as the National Executive Committee. They are the decision makers. The top six can only recommend to the NEC what to do. Now, if he gets a clear lead there, if enough progressive people who correctly have to worry about the economy, who have to worry about their unemployed relatives, and the numbers have been growing higher ever since. We're at a 13-year record of unemployment rate. If he gets good people that want to be part of the NEC and that want to fix not only the ANC but South Africa, then Jacob Zuma will quickly be history, because that's what's needed. Zuma will be history, Malusi Kigaba will be history, Lynn Brown will be history, that board of ESCOM will be history before the budget statement in February, and that is when you start, you get the correct people on the bus, and that's when you move this country in the right direction. You've seen the share price of the country, which is the rand, strengthening so much on the prospects of Cyril Ramaphosa becoming president of the ANC, and upon the confirmation yesterday, the rand immediately strengthened by 6%. Now, as I say, that is the share price of the country. That's how people see us, and it starts there with confidence at the top, and now that we have that, we just need to have a proper NEC, a properly composed NEC that can make quick decisions, and before the budget statement, before the state of the nation, we should have a new president, we should have a new finance minister, we should have a new public enterprises minister, and indeed we should have a new board at ESCOM, at South African Airways, people that can actually get the job done, and that would just give us a chance to avoid further downgrades to junk status, which really would take us 12 years to get out of. We've got serious problems. 28% unemployment rate is the highest among the top 50 economies in the world. We need to change that quickly, and with a downgrade will just make that impossible for the next 10 years.
Sikonathi, thank you very much for your opinions here on the program. Sikonathi Mantshantsha is the deputy editor of Financial Mail, talking to us about many issues, but particularly with regard to the financial status of South Africa and its share price, as in the rand, and where that leaves us. All right, we'll have much more analysis from Nasrec, and grab whichever guest we can. Whoever we see walking by, we'll do that. But right now, let's get you the sports news. Now that this, I suppose, the biggest